In this session, we will first discuss your research aim. This is the most important aspect of your dissertation. Even if you have already formulated your dissertation aim, it is always good to look at the aim again, refine the aim, improve the aim, because a better aim will help you in your research journey. We are told that our research aim needs to be original. So if your research aim resembles another study, is this a problem? It should not be a problem, because even though you have a similar aim, you can use a different methodology. That study may take a quantitative approach and you employ a qualitative approach. That study uses semi-structured interviews, but you choose to use focus groups. That study uses coding, but you opt to use thematic analysis. Your study is in a different time period. Your study is post-COVID. COVID changed so much. Census 21 has been released. You have access to new information. Also, maybe there are new laws, new government policies, new government inquiries. Another country or region, you do the same study in a different country or a different region. But most of all, you are different. You are unique. If two people in this room had the same aim, you would still write different dissertations. If two people in this room had the same aim, you would still write different dissertations. Generally. A good way to think about your research aim is to think about which category your research aim fits into. There are generally 4 types of research aims. Number 1, the traditional aim. The traditional aim is that you write about a general topic or activity that interests you. What interests you? What are your passions? What is good for your career? Maybe you are interested in the general topic of the gender pay gap, or the activity of executive coaching, or the way we make decisions, or standard costing. As you can see, this is very general, very broad, but we need to focus. We need to go deeper. So we should think about which sector or industry we should focus on. It is better to further examine our general topic or activity in a specific sector or industry. Otherwise, the topic would be too abstract or too unfocused. So maybe we focus on the gender pay gap in the advertising industry, or the gender pay gap in the public sector, or the gender pay gap in the creative industries. But we need to focus even further. Which group are we targeting within these sectors, within these industries? We could look at the experiences of a target group, or the motivations of a target group, or the choices of a target group, or the knowledge of a target group, or the behavior of a target group. Examples of a target group are women in managerial roles, young professionals, senior civil servants, South Asian widows, BME students, neurodivergent athletes, etc. So we have these 3 areas: the general topic in red, the sector in green, and the target group in purple. Here is an example. The second type of aim is the problem solution aim, in which the aim identifies a problem and seeks a solution to that problem. For example, there is a problem or issue that you assess or explore. Perhaps the literature has informed you about the problem, or your organization has hired you to look at a perceived problem. Then you seek a solution to that problem. Very simple. Whatever aim you choose is always good at the end of your research to offer a solution, or to make recommendations, or to propose a model, or propose a framework to solve or mitigate a problem that you came across in your research. Here is an example. In red is the problem, in green is the intent to solve the problem. Here is another example. In red is the problem, in green is the intent to solve the problem. The third example of a research aim is a case study aim. A case study is your focus on a specific actual entity or a specific event. You are focusing on this actual entity or event because it is a concrete example of a much wider issue. The issue is too wide or too vast to look at, so instead you focus on a single concrete example, such as focusing on the case study of a strike at Birkbeck. Could be a concrete example of the wider issue of how the university sector engages with its staff. It's too vast to look at the wider university sector, so instead you focus just on Birkbeck, because this allows you to give a more detailed, nuanced and focused explanation. Whatever aim you choose, it's always good to write a paragraph or indeed a whole section on a case study, even in a normal assignment. Why not write a paragraph on a case study? This is because the marker likes that you bring concrete examples. You bring something that's happening in the real world that relates to your dissertation or assignment topic. This type of aim consists of a case study, a specific real entity or a brand or a specific event. ChatGPT, Tesco, Brexit, Trump presidency, and so on. Each of these case studies tells the story of a wider issue. And you want to look at this case study from a unique angle. We don't just want to look at ChatGPT as a whole. We want to examine just an aspect of ChatGPT. A unique angle may be the ethics, or recruitment practices, or expansion of the company, or the monopoly, or marketing practices, etc. Here are two examples. The last aim is the approach aim, where the most visible aspect of the aim is the approach. This is an approach that you adopt to look at a specific issue. The approach is really a lens. You examine an issue through this lens. You may look at recruitment practices through the lens of critical race theory, or through a managerialist lens, or a feminist lens, because the real world is too vast, too disordered for us, too messy for us. There's too much stuff happening. It's too blurry. So we put on these glasses. The critical race theory glasses helps us focus on just the racial aspect of an issue. Or we put on human capital theory glasses because we just want to focus on the production process of an issue. These approaches help us focus on a specific aspect of an issue. Here are some examples. Here are some examples.